Does your life feel turbulent? Are you hitting obstacles and challenges everywhere you turn? Does it feel like everything is falling apart? Well, the thing is, our obstacles can actually be our biggest blessings. They can show us which way to go, what to learn, or where to redirect. So it's very important to start using our obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. Oftentimes when we hit obstacles and challenges, we either stop or we can give up completely. And this is the thing, we have to start seeing them as messages. Everything we do, absolutely everything, is a message. There's guidance coming left, right, and centre. So if we hit something, hit a little bit of a bump in the road, we have to sit back and ask ourselves, what is this showing me? Well, I know for myself in the past, I thought life was just obstacles and challenges. I thought life was hard. And I didn't understand that an obstacle or any kind of turbulence was a message. It was showing me my life wasn't working. And the thing is, right, you'll know this, if you're out of alignment, well, I suppose when you don't understand it, it's hard to understand. It's just hard to understand it. When I was in my conditioned reality, I didn't know the obstacles were telling me something. I didn't know that the bad luck, what I perceived as bad luck, was actually showing me that my life wasn't working, that my life was out of alignment. And this is the thing, like, an obstacle doesn't necessarily have to be that your life is out of alignment, just that you might need to tweak it a little bit. So you have to ask yourself, is this a redirect or is it just a message? Like, so, for example, you can hit problems in a certain project. It does not mean that project or that endeavor or that relationship isn't for you. It's asking you to grow. So there's different ways to see it. Is it asking you to grow or is it asking you to move? And I think the way we can decipher this is, how big is the problem? So for when I was living in the conditioned reality and my whole life was effectively one big challenge, one big obstacle, that was because my life was not aligned. It was the wrong life. I was in toxic relationships. I wasn't listening. I was drinking. I was taking drugs. I wasn't on the right life path. So obstacles were insurmountable, and they were one after the other. But what did I do? I did nothing. I didn't understand that you can change your life if there's a challenge in it, or you can change your life if it's not going right. I just believed that was what life was. And that was it. There was no way of getting out of the bad luck life, the negative life. So when I awakened, when I started to heal, I started to realize that there's a message in absolutely everything. So if things go wrong, if it seems like I'm having a run of bad luck, it means something. It means you're not in the right environment. And I see that now as well. Like I started a project a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't work. From day one, like my intuition was saying, even before we had our first meeting to do this project, my intuition was saying, don't do this. It's not for you. And I was like, no. That could be imposter syndrome. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to try it out anyway. I'm going to see what it's like. And meeting after meeting, there was turbulence. There was friction. Do you know what I mean? And I kept saying to myself, look, you have to own your triggers. Whatever this is going through, you learn from it. But it kept getting more turbulent. Initially, if you address the mini obstacles, say, the mini obstacles are just nudges, and they're showing you what you need to change or what you need to learn. So I'll accept every little challenge as a learning exercise. And if the challenge gets bigger, even though I've learned from it, then I'm like, this is actually a redirect. So like I learned that wasn't the right thing for me to do at that time. That project wasn't in alignment. So I left. And I realized the reason I was getting the warning signs, and that's what obstacles are. They can be mild nudges or they can be warning signs. Another example is like when I in toxic relationships or in toxic family dynamics. For a long time, there was just more arguments and more arguments. And instead of saying to myself, this is how life is, I'm just going to put up with it, I eventually learned that the universe was telling me this is turbulent because it's not working. This is literally showing you something else. And we can think straight away that, like, okay, why me? Like, why did I have to walk away from these friends? Why did I have to walk away from these family members? Why did I have to walk away from this project? I was really excited about it. I was really, all of this kind of stuff was coming in. And I realized that every challenge, every obstacle, every redirect, it was a blessing. If I hadn't have walked away from certain friends and family because of the turbulence, I wouldn't be where I am now on my purpose path. If I didn't leave the project that wasn't in alignment, I would have probably ended up having arguments with the people in there. I would have ended up having fallen out with people I have time for, I have compassion for, and I care about. So I learned that there was a blessing in disguise. And one thing we have to see is not every obstacle is bad. It's literally showing you something. It's showing you what could be better. So if something doesn't work out, this is another thing. Like if you try something and it doesn't work out, that's not necessarily a failure. That's the universe saying this isn't the right time, or this isn't for you. And it's showing you, like it's opening another door. If it closes one door, it opens another. And it shows you something better. So like if you see a challenge or something not working out as a failure, you're literally going to stand in front of that closed door and feel sorry for yourself. You're not going to see that there's actually a blessing if you stand back and see that there's another door. And this is the thing. We can get into this victim mentality, this woe me energy of, I keep failing, or I can't do this, or why does this not work out? It's because it's not for you. And this is, I think, especially when we're on the purpose path journey, we try so many things. It's like, is this my purpose? Is this my purpose? Is this my purpose? And nothing seems to kind of align, but it's not necessarily because it's not going to align eventually. It's because it's not the right time. So for example, when I first started publishing my poetry book, I tried to self-publish and I was hitting brick walls over and over and over again, and it just really, really drove me mental. And I thought, look, this isn't for me anymore, so I'm going to leave it. But I eventually did end up getting it published. And now I realized that everything I went through was a redirection. It was showing me how to get to where I am. And it turns out I might have gotten it published in the best way, but now I see another redirect from that challenge. And I'm like thinking now, everything that seemed to have gone wrong really taught me something. It grew me. You know what I mean? So like every single thing that I thought was like, the way you might kick yourself if you chose something wrong or chose something differently and it didn't work out. And you punish yourself. You're like, oh God, why did I do that? Why was it so fucking stupid? Why didn't I know? Why didn't I see this? And you're like literally saying to yourself, you're so hard on yourself. But then you realize, hold on, take a look at the bigger picture. If it didn't go the way it did, would I be sitting here the way I am? Would I have the knowledge that, like, another example, on Monday I started a new project and I had to work with a whole new platform. The formatting of this was so, I even had a headache afterwards. I overdid it. Normally I only spend a few hours at something and then I go back to it a few days later, you know what I mean? So like I don't spend too much time on one thing. I'll do a few hours of each thing because I know that I put so much energy into things. I hit so many obstacles on Monday. My head was splitting after it. I stayed at it too long and I really was like angry that it was so difficult. And then I realized, hold on now a second. If this had been easy, because literally I went into it, I was like, this is going to be easy. I'm going to have this done in a couple of hours. And I actually, if I had it done in a couple of hours, I would have ended up doing it wrong. Because I didn't understand it. And it only because of the obstacles and the challenges that I went through, I now understand. And now I realize, hold on now, I was going to rush this and end up not happy with the end result. And because of all the turbulence that I went through on Monday, that splitting headache, I was reminded of two things. One, don't rush it. Two, you're after learning so much here, and now you know the right way to do it. And another thing is, it was reminding me as well, don't overdo it. Take one step at a time. Like, you see this. If you overdo something, if you rush into something, and you keep, like, hitting these walls, and then you just keep going, have you ever done that, right? You're not in the right headspace to do something. Then you do it anyway. And it's not working. It's just not working. But you keep going. Hour after hour, you keep going, and your head is hurting, and you're literally so stressed and drained, and nothing is working. But if you take a break and go back to it another time, when you're in a better headspace, it happens in 2 seconds. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you really have to start. It's about awareness. You know what I mean? It's like asking yourself every little thing, everything you feel, everything you do. What is it showing you? What is it telling you? How does it make you feel? These are all lessons we can learn through the obstacles. And instead of, as I said, like, instead of seeing an obstacle as a roadblock, it's actually a stepping stone. Like, you just take a step back and you see the bigger picture. Like, there's such, like, and this is the thing with the phrase, like, there's always a silver lining. There really is. You know what I mean? You can think, oh, I failed at this, or this didn't work out. And, like, but if you're in that energy of, woe me, you're going to try and probably do the thing again that failed, and it's not going to work out, or you're going to keep getting the same result. Whereas if you actually take a step back and say, okay, why didn't this work out? Why didn't this go the way I thought it was going to go? What is this showing me? Where can I learn from this? Or what can I learn from this? Where can I go after this? You know what I mean? Like, instead of saying, like, sometimes the certain thing can be reapproached in a different way. But you have to learn that first. But if we fail and then say to ourselves, I'm going to just try again, without actually understanding why you failed or what the message was in it, you're going to fail again. But if you take a step back and say, what went wrong, and why did it go wrong? Not just what went wrong, why did it go wrong? Because there's a metaphor in everything in life. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally it's just showing you. Like, I find, like, as I said with my Monday project, it wasn't just showing me that if I don't rush, it'll be better. It was also showing me, don't overdo it, because I was already saying to myself, maybe I should be doing more. Maybe I should be doing extra, online, or maybe I should be doing extra. And yes, I am doing more, but I need to delegate. When I do more, I delegate it. So I still do it in sections. I still do it baby steps at a time, and I take enough energy for myself. But if I thought I had to do more. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, like, I thought I had to do more than just delegate my time wisely. And the first minute I tried that, I crashed. I ended up, I was in an awful state. My energy was so drained. My head was hurting. I did learn a lot with the stuff I did on Monday, but the main metaphor from the whole thing was, or the main lesson from the whole thing was, don't overdo it. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was showing me that if I take one step at a time, if I take a step back and understand why these challenges happened, then I can make a better result for myself. And this is the important thing here. So ask yourself, like, so if it comes to career or relationships, if you're going into work every day and it seems every single thing is going wrong, you're not getting on with your colleagues or your boss, and, you're not getting the results that you want every day, that's showing you something. That's showing you that's not in alignment. If there's something in a relationship, there's two different ways to see this, right? If you've got a relationship of any kind, whether it's romantic or otherwise, that has turbulence, constant arguments, and I mean constant arguments, that's showing you there's something wrong here. That's maybe showing you a redirect. It's showing you this isn't for you. Same way if you're having arguments with your boss as well. Or is there lessons to be learned? Is there many obstacles? This is what I was trying to say earlier as well. The obstacles are small if they're lessons, and the obstacles are big if they're redirects. And that's what it is. And you can have both within a situation, but you have to start to understand. You have to start to become aware. That's the thing. Like, you know, what I see with certain things is we'll get nudges, we'll get those mini obstacles, those mini challenges. And if we listen to them, if we pay attention to them, we can say to ourselves, what's going wrong here? And how can I fix it? Now, sometimes the fix is to walk away. But oftentimes, if we can catch something when the challenges are small, we can find a compromise. So we can set boundaries. We can start choosing ourselves. We can do other things. So there's so many ways of, I suppose, understanding, is this a big change or is this a little change? Can I fix this within the situation, or do I need to change the situation? So it's really just becoming so aware. Everything has a message. Do you know what I mean? If you stub your toe, there's a message there. Slow the fuck down. Do you know what I mean? If you get stuck behind a tractor or in traffic lights, it's teaching you patience. If you get stuck in a queue, it's teaching you patience again. You know what I mean? It's teaching you to slow down. Like everything. Like we see delays as obstacles. Delays are there to show you that you're going too fast. Any kind of, you know, even if you get an injury or an illness, you know, get sick, that's an obstacle that's showing you, hey, you need to change something. And that obstacle then can flip into a blessing, because you realize, I had to get sick or I had to have an injury in order to see the bigger picture, which was that my life wasn't working like this. I was forced to slow down. And now I get to see and do my life better. Do you get me? So, like, you know, we have to start to become so hyper aware, and I mean so hyper aware, of absolutely everything that we do, everything that we feel. And that's the thing, like, you know, with the project I mentioned that I was collaborating with people and the project just wasn't for me. This was a couple of weeks ago. I normally stay in places so long. So when I had to walk away from friends and family years ago, right, I ended up staying so fucking long. I was getting mini triggers, I was getting mini challenges, mini obstacles, and I was realising, hold on now, I'm not listening to this. I was in denial. I was like, no, it's fine, everything's going to be fine. But those obstacles got louder and louder and louder. Those challenges got louder and louder. Those triggers got louder and louder, until I got to the stage where the whole thing just blew up and I had to walk away. But with that project a few weeks ago, I listened early on. Now, I didn't listen straight away. I did kind of listen straight away. And I was like, no, I'm going to still give it a chance. I'm going to see what this is like. But I left quick. I understood quickly that this wasn't for me. So I was able to leave it. I was able to actually say to myself, I'm choosing my boundary right now. I'm choosing myself right now, and I'm going to change something. And I see the blessing in that. Why? Because now I'm not stressed. Now I'm not having any friction in my life, and I understand that just wasn't for me, and that something better will come along. So, you know, instead of kind of being sad or being upset about things falling apart or things feeling turbulent or things, it feels like things are crumbling sometimes, there's such an opportunity to see what's coming next, see what blessing is coming. Any door that closes, there's 10 more that open. But if you're stuck in front of that closed door, you're never going to see how much of a blessing came from that. Because, like, you know, if you're overdoing it in any area of your life, in your work, your career, your community, whatever it is, even in the gym or whatever, you're going to be hitting that illness, that obstacle, that challenge. You know, you're going to go into collapse, all this stuff. It's literally showing you a bigger picture. You might think, I've known this my whole life. I've been in this area my whole life. I've done this my whole life. I've been with this person my whole life. I've been in this community my whole life. Whatever it is, you know, I know no different. But life has to change. Life has to evolve. And the only way we evolve is by listening to them obstacles, those challenges, those redirects. And we have to say to ourselves, if I lose something, if something doesn't work out, it means something better is going to enter. We have to make room for the new to come in. And the only way we can actually make room is to see the obstacles as blessings. See them as stepping stones. See them as redirects. See them as ways to show us how we can make something better. And that's it. Whether it is an obstacle to change stuff within that area, to make that area better, great. But we'll know the difference between, can I improve this, or does this need to go? And this is why we have to start being so aware of every little thing that happens. So if you feel ill, if you get injured, if there's turbulence, if there's arguments, if things seem to be going wrong all the time, it's just showing you, hey, take a step back for a minute and ask yourself why. What is this showing you? What is this helping you learn? Or where is this redirecting you to? Because there's more to life than being in a situation that feels turbulent all the time. There's more to life than being in any dynamic that feels turbulent all the time. If things are going wrong, it means you have to change things in order for them to go right. So look at your obstacles as stepping stones. Look at your challenges as lessons, and learn where you can improve or where you can change. This is so important. So don't be sitting there thinking, I've lost something, or what if I have to lose something, or what if I have to leave something? Ask yourself what's coming after that. What can you gain when you let go of the old to welcome in the new? And that's the most important lesson here. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. If you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. I have nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is below or in the description box. And I have a free feminine empowerment workshop coming up on Wednesday, the 17th of June at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time, for us ladies to get together and support each other. If you want info for that, please comment below.